What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Guess what? We are streaming live to multiple platforms. We changed the whole program. Better yet, Renee, I changed the whole program on Renee.
You're the boss. You're the boss. You are the social media. You're the boss. Whatever we do, I'm just happy to be here.
So, Renee, we're going to turn the tables. Even though we're inside of my Restream platform, I'm going
Yeah.
to give you control because you are interviewing me. And so let's start all over again because this your show. I'm just here. Hey, Renee.
Well, thank you for being in control. I like that, Marky. It is Renee Roque from Women's Council of Realtors, California, with a special invitation to you to join us. Our upcoming spring meeting is coming, and there's not a meeting that we wouldn't love to have Marky Lemon Ryle here with us. And she is we're honored because she is obviously a sought after author, coach, realtor, broker in Chicago. And guess what? She is going to take her time from her busy schedule to train us. And the trainings that Marky gives are very phenomenal. I have seen her on stage in Los Angeles. I have seen her on stage in San Francisco at the National Association of Realtors. And guess what? Everyone leaves with amazing knowledge and information. So she's going to be teaching us, and you need to be there on Monday, the 26th at 12:30. She's going to be teaching us about social setting made simple. Welcome to your own platform. Welcome, Marky.
What's going on, Renee? So yes, on Monday, I am coming to California. So that time is Pacific Standard Time. One of the biggest issues I think that I've had to overcome since being home for a year are the time zones. Because Renee, this is my third presentation today. I see Sharon Gardner. She's over on LinkedIn. She started with me this morning. I was in New Jersey, so I started on the East Coast. I then came back and I went to St. Louis or to the state of Missouri. And then I'm now out in California with you. So I go back and forth on the coast. So that means I'm toggling 4 time zones. And on an occasion, I will do something Serbia, Alaska, Australia. And I have to toggle that.
Out of the country?
Out of the country. Yeah, this environment allows me, I can get a lot of leverage.
Right. But God bless you.
On Monday, I'm coming to one of my favorite groups of all groups, and that's the Women's Council. This is where leaders are made. It is dominated by females, but there are some great men who know that they want to be around a bunch of smart women, so they hang out with us as well. But we're going to talk about social selling made simple. 2 things. I am the podcaster of Social Selling Made Simple. I think we're on our 86th episode of Social Selling Made Simple. And then I took the podcast and we turned it into the Social Selling Journal, which is now my 2nd international bestseller. And we just dropped the Social Selling Made Simple website, which is a part of the Marky Lemon's Ryle collection. And this book can do a lot of things for you. And I it's a guided journal, but the joy is that with each guided journal, we start with a quote. So I'm just pulling up any page. If you are not ready and willing to walk away from the negotiation, you shouldn't be at the table. Because there comes a point, right, in our world, we have a fiduciary responsibilities to our clients. We owe them undivided loyalty, putting their needs and their wants before our own. It's not up to us. We're negotiating on behalf of someone else and their interest. So sometimes you got to get up off of the table because you got to call your client, right?
You really do. You really do.
You got to go and call your client. But we also are going to dive into having a morning routine. And I follow the Miracle Morning.
Amen.
a life of savers is what they call it, but I believe in sales, we should have a life of sales, silence, affirmation, lead generation,
Mhm.
exercising, and
Yes.
scripts. And our scripts are not phone scripts. They could be text scripts. They could be IMDM scripts. They could be Instagram Reels scripts. Because everyone thinks of this script like cold calling. No, you
Hmm.
could have text scripts. There's numerous scripts to have. It doesn't have to be just that one script. And so on Monday, I'm coming to California.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
we
26.
Yes, we're going to have a an hour of impact together where we're going to walk through the guided tools, but all of the different resources that you could use to help you through those steps. Like, how did you prospect for new business today?
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? If we got to have a day and we start our day off with lead generation, I want to know, how did you prospect for new business today? We're we are in a business of sales,
That's
right?
right. And our world is changing, right? So we need to do things differently, correct?
I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
Yes, it is changing. Operation I've Got Houses for Sale. I want realtors to change their language. Everyone keeps stating that there is a shortage of inventory. There is not a shortage of inventory. There is a shortage of listed properties.
That's
There's
right.
inventory to be sold. How you go about getting it has
I
changed.
I love how you and Carrie Joe have been emphasizing that. I've been seeing you guys because I follow you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I follow you. That's right. And it's a mindset too, right?
It is a mindset. So we also talk about what? Affirmations and the tools that you're utilizing. How do I keep a positive attitude? I will tell you, this has been a rough week. Like, my attitude was funky on
No.
Monday. Oh, it was stank. It was stank. And I'm sitting here and I'm affirming over my business and what I need to do.
Mm,
And I'm reminding myself, Marky, you know why you got an attitude today? Oh, this too shall come to pass. You can do all things, right? I mean, this is my conversation.
that's
Then
right.
because I knew I was funky. I knew I was stank,
To
and
know
I'm like,
thyself, knowing thyself is the first key,
no,
right?
I like, get me up out of here. And we got Tammy Noel on. What's going on, Tammy? I even changed my profile picture in support. And so as we think about this and we think about everyone talking about that there is a lack of inventory, one
Mhm.
of the guided prompt states, COSNOP, concentrate on solutions, not on the problem. What
Amen.
solutions can help you overcome your struggle,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right.
I think about the fact that I have been gainfully unemployed from my primary source of income since March the 13th, Friday, March the 13th, 2020. And people
Oh,
like, but
you
how,
ran.
Marky?
You were
Look,
grounded.
yeah, I'm grounded. Exactly,
Mhm.
right? Because I'm a real estate keynote speaker. I will return to my traditional job in September of 2020. But that's a
Woo.
long time, right?
And the mortgage still needs to be paid, and your kids still need to eat.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
had to pivot. I had to concentrate on solutions and not on the problem.
Right. Exactly.
That that means that we had to enter into what? This virtual world.
And you've knocked it out the park because I see you. I
Thank you.
didn't see you leaving it all. And I see you on Instagram, and I see you coaching, and I see you selling, and see you changing. So kudos to you. Love it.
So we're going to dive deep, right? Because women make what? 82 cents on a dollar.
Mm. Is that
82 cents on a dollar. They
is that
got the unmitigated gall to give us 18% less.
mm, so unfair? And we do so much
We do, yes,
and still raise the kids, and run the household, and make sure everybody's okay. Right?
exactly. And so we're going to dive really deep into social selling and the steps that we need to take and implement in our lives to overcome those obstacles. I believe that women, I believe everyone, regardless of race, regardless of your sex, that we all deserve to earn what we are worth.
Right.
So just because you're a woman doesn't mean you should make less money. Just because you're African American, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Pakistani doesn't mean that you should make less money.
Doing the
S-
same job, right?
Doing the same identical job. So mentally, what is my mindset, right? How am I operating and navigating, knowing what the rules are, right? And how do we do it ethically? And what's our unique selling proposition? And how do we differentiate ourselves from everyone else in order to stand out? I think you might know I do not do what everyone else does.
That's
Yeah,
for sure. For
I just
sure.
own it at this point. And I, I just submitted an application for this big thing, right? But it comes from contribution.
Mm,
And in submitting the application, it asked about obstacles and hurdles you had to overcome. And every time we always think that we got to change something. What I've come to realize, because I have no problems being different, my biggest hurdle to always overcome is patience.
okay.
I'm generally too early. I'm serious. I'm generally too early. And sometimes I've had to be patient years
Mm,
to see it come back and what it was supposed to be because I was too early.
you're ahead of the game.
And yeah, I give you an example.
But I
I
believe
did a
because you're ahead of the game, you were able to survive 2020 and
I
thrive
was. Yeah.
because
I
you knew that this technology and selling homes is very important and you needed to learn it. And you did and master.
yeah. But in 2016 I did a video on Facebook about how to do a open house using Facebook Live. Okay?
Mm,
2016.
a long
That video became popular in April of 2020.
time. Aw. People had to figure it out.
4 years.
That's
Four
a
years
long
later.
time. That's a long time. Well, God has just blessed you with information and knowledge and foresight. And I mean, you're good at these things. We were talking offline about tech things, and you can see what needs to happen. So that's a blessing.
But it's a hard one because most people want to go fix something or they want to rush everyone else. They're not ready.
Okay.
Timing is everything. And I have been ahead of myself on more than one occasion. And I wasn't always patient. I would say that
Mhm.
probably comes with age, maturity, and realizing also it's not always about you. And
Right.
I've never said this on Facebook. So I was raised as an only child, even though I have three younger brothers because I'm my mother's only child. And I was raised in a household, great grandmother, two grandparents, me. I was the first child on my mother's side born after my mother.
Wow.
And my father had one younger sister. Okay. So I come into a household with a bunch of mature adults. Okay.
Yeah.
And the world revolved around Marky. And
Mhm.
so I essentially I've always been spoiled, always, but I wasn't a brat
Okay.
because if I was to throw a temper tantrum or act a fool, my mother was going to snatch me up. She didn't care where we were. You wasn't going to be none of that,
Right.
but she was going to give me what I wanted. But all that, you know, we're not doing no parts of that. And she would snatch my little butt up. So as a result, I did think the world revolved around me and it had to go about my timing. And,
Hmm.
and then I had some early failures. My first restaurant failed. I was the age of 20. Okay.
Oh,
And I realized, man, clearly I'm not as smart as I thought. I've always had good conversations with myself. Girl, you're not as smart as you think you are. Um,
keep you sane
you probably need to go back to school. Now you're talking to a person didn't want to go to college. Okay. I wasn't going to college until
because
because I was going to be a hairstylist and own this chain of salons. What did I need to go to college for? I had all the good business sense in the world. I've been self-employed since the age of 10. College,
wow,
please.
you didn't
My
need that.
Nah, my mama made me go to college. Best thing ever. So I get to Central State University and HBCU. I see all these fine black men, right? And I just stand in front of the Williamson Hall and I say to myself, who don't go to college and hang out with all these fine men? Ooh, y'all so fine, baby. And I'm looking, this is me looking out, right? I'm looking out. I'm like, God, you know you look good over there. And the football,
And they're educated, which
right.
means they probably end up with a job.
Yeah. Now I had my eyes set on the football players over there. I was gonna marry me a professional football player, right? So I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to college the rest of my life. This is what I declare, right? And so I end up going to school. When I was going to go get my PhD after I'd earned my master's degree, my granddaddy said, "No, Marky." He basically told me they had lied to me. They told me as long as I went to school, they would take care of me. He
Oh,
was like, "You're not getting ready to
enough.
become a professional student.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. It is time." I lied. Enough is enough. It is time for
We
your
didn't
highly
think,
educated self to
he
go.
said, we didn't think you were going to take us seriously and draw this out forever.
Yes. But let me just say this. If it was not for the Marauders of Central State University football team, I might not have continued school and education. But because it was so many fine men with broad shoulders, I just knew I had to finish school. So I just need you. I don't think, but I was a spoiled brat, right? So in making these decisions, I had to have a conversation with myself, right? That it
Mhm,
wasn't about me, that it was about the consumer. And here's the thing, in educating myself and taking statistics classes and going back and taking entrepreneurship training, I was clear that I needed to follow the numbers. And my personal belief system did not impact those numbers.
mhm, mhm. Okay,
And that's how I'm able now to understand trends because it's not about me
right.
in my limited experience, even though I think my experience has been vast, but it's limited in comparison to everything else in the world.
Mhm. That's a
Follow the
great
numbers.
perspective to have too, especially when you're negotiating for clients, right?
Yeah.
It's not
And see,
about us.
you didn't know where that was gonna go for the Central State. You're like, so how's she gonna pivot all the fine guys in the middle of the cornfield? Because Wilberforce is in between, was in between two cornfields, right? But anyway,
I
y'all,
trust
you want
you. I trust you.
yeah, you want to know how I ended up going to college, staying at college, loving college. Blame it on the football
Young
team.
boys, the hunks. Oops, sorry.
Woo. No, no, no. They were fine and everything. And so it changed though everything. And I'm like, I really wish that we could get more young adults
Mhm,
into the environment
mhm.
because if they have the opportunity to experience the environment, they will no longer want what they've previously had.
Oh, I picked up my son from college his first year on Sunday. He's home. I can I tell you, it's like a different person. So I think there's much value in this. Much.
But all of that experience, I said all that to say this, it's kind of all wrapped up into here, right? With some of the prompts, like concentrating on the solution, not on the problem, was something that I first learned when I came into real estate. I
Uh-huh.
came into real estate as a mortgage broker, so I was on the lending side of the business. One
Yeah.
of the top producers in the industry, that was one of his sayings: concentrate on solutions, not on the problem. And we know that in doing real estate deals, we have to consistently concentrate on the solution, not
Right.
on the problem. And when you concentrate on the problem, it does not move you forward.
No. Right. And you can't get in the mud with everybody. You have to say, I'm the professional. Wait a second. I've done this over 100 times. Let's find a solution. Yeah. Stop it. Stop. So social selling made simple. Our focus on the 26th is going to be about solutions.
To all of your problems, to your
And
lead generation problem, to your social media and technology problem, to your morning routine problem. And I guess I'm gonna have to give y'all a PDF copy of the book. Ah,
ooh, yes.
yeah, we're gonna have to give a PDF copy uh, of the book away, right? And then also, what is one thing you learned today?
Okay.
We want to commit to being lifelong learners,
Right.
learning one thing new today. So Renee, we've been together not an hour. I
Okay.
brought you into a totally new platform. We talked it through. I said, "Do you have a background photo?" You sent it to me. I said, "Do you have the link?" You sent it to me. You say, "Where we going live at?" I said, "All over," right?
Right.
Right. And you like, okay. And you just went along for the ride, like you trusted me in this process.
I trust you.
So let me just say this. We are live on LinkedIn, Facebook, Facebook Business, two Facebook groups, and YouTube. Just so you know. So this is learn something new today. You're gonna be like, I don't know what that tool was. Marky had me
It
on.
was out there somewhere. Someone said, I saw you somewhere. I was like, whoa, thank you, Marky. That is amazing.
And guess what you did? You emailed me our picture behind us. You emailed me the link. We got it. Uh, what do I word do I want to use? We got it loaded, right? And
Mhm.
here we are doing something new together because we're committed to being lifelong learners.
We certainly are. You cannot shut it down. You're not going to go anywhere. You're going to be stuck. So thank you. And I think this is very appropriate because right now, as we talk to realtors, some are just feeling like, oh, the market is crazy. Things are happening, but you just got to go with the technology and be open. That's what I tell my kids, be open. Don't be closed. Be open to the possibilities. So thank
Yes,
you. Thank
not
you
a
for sharing.
problem.
Thank you for sharing. Because yes, Tammy says she wants to learn. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
We
look
are
at Tammy. Look at how Tammy has gone about a campaign.
grown up.
First of all, Tammy, we're going to just take this clip, right, as my endorsement for you. One, I tell people the true testament to a person is how they act under pressure
Oof.
versus how they act when everything is going great. Tammy has been very gracious in her process of running for her position, right? Under pressure, she is still acting like a Southern peach, right? She's still
Aw,
professional, right? She's still collaborating, but I know for a fact she's used several new tools she didn't know anything about, but she trusted the process. So I like to see how people operate under pressure.
right. And
That tells you really how they get down. And she has been a lady throughout this whole process. And then we have Sharon Gardner. Now she out of look, Sharon, I've been with you all day, sweetheart. We've been together. We started together in New Jersey. She just told me she loved the background here. So I put up a new background picture today, right? Just consistently learning, taking those steps. And when things don't go the way I think they should go, talk real nice to yourself. You
that's
need
right.
to talk nicer to yourself than anyone else.
That's right. You'll get through this. It's okay. It's okay. Same thing that we would say to someone else, right? Our clients. It's okay. We're going to get through this together. Fantastic. Well, thank you. Is there any other thing that you'd like to add that we didn't talk about? And I know you've been on Zoom all day or in platforms, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart in California, because we know that your time is valuable and you're very sought after and you're just a wonderful inspiration. So if anyone doesn't know about Women's Council of Realtors, do you want to just say a little bit about who we are and what we do? And people here, leaders made here, but what is that?
So when I think about the Women's Council, one, if you look at female leadership inside of the world of real estate, a large percentage got their start with the Women's Council. So percentage wise, more female leaders come out of Women's Council than any other entity at the National Association of Realtors. So that would be first and foremost. And it is all about leadership, collaboration, creating opportunities for the next woman, and education. So we have specialized education around leadership, and I would essentially say for women by women. But think of the networking opportunities. When I look at all of the opportunities that have been presented to me, women generally are instrumental in making those things happen. That is what you get with the Women's Council. When we had when George Floyd was murdered last year, the Women's Council president, Brenda Lee, was the first person to reach out and have a public discussion on race. She did what other leaders were fearful to do, and that was to be the first person to have that discussion. And let me say this, we were all fearful on that discussion because we didn't know what was going to happen. And
Mhm.
as a woman of color, I'm questioning, like, how many more times can I talk about race before I piss somebody off?
Yeah.
I've talked about it several times, right?
Yes, I was on that. I watched you guys, and it's so authentic and honest.
But that's what you get from the Women's Council. But let me just say locally, right? Nakia Pipiama Griff, the first African American female president of the Chicago Association of Realtors, which I want to say is the ninth largest local association in the country, ranked number 41 of best places to work in the city of Chicago by Cranes. We will also have another African American female president coming up through the ranks, which is Sarah Ware. We
Oh.
have Carrie Little. We have Tracy Royal. Now I'm just talking about my clique. Okay, this is my come sit on my deck click, right? Throw some lamb chops on and they here click, right? And everyone has a leadership position, and what you do not get from us is a crabs in a barrel mentality. One, because there's enough leadership opportunities out here for everyone, and everyone doesn't have to be a leader in the same organization. So what we've realized is we take that information and we disseminate. So Nakia is a federal political coordinator, and Sarah Ware served on the board of directors of the Cook County Land Bank, and Tracy Royal and Nakia both have big time positions with Coldwell Banker. And so those are the things. And Tracy and Carrie right now is in the Goldman Sachs program. So when you look at your board positions at a local, state, and national level, it's the Women's Council that's showing up and showing out because they got that training and that networking within Women's Council.
And if I can just speak, I was a newbie in Chicago, and Carrie and Sarah and Nakia, they trained me. I'm nobody. But you have those kind of people who are training and investing. They don't have to come and give up their time to be with us, but they do. And I'm sorry, this is volunteer. They are volunteering, investing in other people because they have the heart of service. And that is a leader who is inspiring. And then when I found out who they were, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're talking to me in this little room and training us about Women's Council. They walk the talk. They don't just, yeah, because they want to sit on a board and say, oh, yes, I do this and have this after the name. They spend their time, they're running their businesses, and they still have time to serve others. That's powerful.
Impactful. So, guys, I want you to click on that link. See me out in California this upcoming Monday. We are then also having a program next Thursday with the Women's Council. Carrie Little and I actually wrote the virtual social leader program. So please join us to enhance your skills. And let me just be clear. People want to do business with thought leaders. It's great to volunteer. It's great to have leadership skills, but we're also talking about people who earn substantially more than the average realtor because of the referrals, because of the networking. You want to position yourself to earn the most because you're worth the most, because you're doing the most. Okay.
Right.
And so
you know the most.
Exactly. And that's what you will definitely get. So Renee, one, I appreciate you. I am coming to sunny San Diego in November. You cannot keep me away from California, boo. I need you to know that. I'm coming with bells on. But let me tell you what else I'm coming with, Renee. I just need you to know. I need you to go, and because I am the new realtor cheerleader, baby. Yes, this is coming up in there. I need you to know, okay? Y'all not gonna have to wonder who it is. It's Marky, the realtor cheerleader, coming through, welcoming everybody back to the conference. All right, I need you to know.
Cannot wait. Can't wait to hug people. And it'll be sort of weird, like, can we? Is it okay? Can we? Because that's what we do in Women's Council. We hug, we embrace, we just love people. So thank you so much for spending your time with us. And thank you for you out there who are joining us from whatever platform you are. We would love to have you on the 26th of Women's Council of Realtors for our spring meeting. Again, Marky is at 12:30 to 1:30 Pacific Standard Time. And download your Hoover app and make sure to save it and say, oops, I'm going to make sure I come to that one because you do not want to miss it. Or the PMN designation that's coming for National Association of Realtors designation with Carrie Little. So please make sure to be there. All right. So thank you again.
Thank you,
Marky.
guys.
Love
See you
you.
later.
Love you.
Connect with you soon.